Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Wendy De Rosa, and I've been here the last Wednesday, this Wednesday, next Wednesday morning to provide some support on an energetic level through everything that we're moving through right now. And that I there's a long meditation that I did a couple last week, and it's a 45-minute meditation, and it's a deep energetic support that I want to encourage you to keep coming back to and re-listening to. It's on this Facebook page, it's in my YouTube channel, and you can watch it and tune in and just be in this space of dropping in your energy body and in your system. So just as people are joining here, I'm just going to ground us all in this moment. So these Wednesday morning check-ins are a little shorter, and the opportunity just for us to come together and ground into this space. So let's take a moment and arrive in our bodies. As you're arriving here in this moment, we'll close our eyes and tune in. And as our world becomes more incubated and internal, there's actually this very interesting, if anyone's seen these, images over China and over the world about how, as we're slowing down, as the factories are stopping, global warming, or like the pollution is decreasing, and then the earth mother can start to repair herself. And it's a similar experience in our energy body as we start to go inward. Grounding is in and down. And for some people who are sensitives and empathic, it's like sometimes we enjoy being inward. We need that mystical place. We need to go into introverted space to renew, to think, to breathe, to create, to align ourselves. And so if we're extroverted, we're called into this space too, and that feels like a difficult place to be. But what it does is it repairs our aura when we go in and when we're in incubated space. So take a moment, close your eyes, come in. And by in, I'd like you to imagine here that you have this beautiful central channel in your body, this powerful resonance center of divinity in your body. And what resides in that central channel is the infusion of divine love, the universe. We have lots of words for this: God, the oneness, universe, grace. And so we have this powerful center of our being. And when we go in, that central channel has the opportunity to get bigger, to grow and become brighter. And when we take the bottom of our central channel, this is metaphoric here, and we plug it in to our grounding cord, and our grounding cord is this powerful support around your hips and your sit bones and your low belly, and it hugs you, it holds you. And we ground your grounding cord deep, deep, deep into the center of the earth. As we ground it deep into the center of the earth, we're going to let the roots expand, and we're going deeper than the crust of the earth, deeper than the jitters, than the shakiness. We're going deep into where the earth is slow. And sometimes it takes up to 10 minutes for the body to settle when we come into meditation or we come into grounding. Slow your breath, deepen your breath. and ground very powerfully into a slower frequency of stability and steadiness. And when we can ground into steady, we're also grounding into trust. Trust builds when our energy system can become steady. And I pray here that as we hold space for ourselves in this moment, as you hold space for yourself in this moment, that we connect into the matrix, the web of humanity. And we've perhaps heard this term, this phrase that we're all connected. We're all connected. When we're in our front body so much, and we're in cognition, and we're in front of heart, and we're managing, and where it's essentially ego. Front body is the ego consciousness. Back body is where we lean into the awareness that we are connected on an energetic level. We're connected on a heart coherence level. We're connected on a divine level, that we are, through our pillar of grace and through our grounding core, we all ground into the earth. We all ground into the similar. We're all human. We all experience shame. We all experience fear. We all experience aspects of humanity. And so I'd like you to imagine here that as we lean back into our prayer channels and into our pillars of grace in our body, that we're going to ground someone else. We're going to give them strength. And we'll start here by giving strength to the vulnerable right now. And that might mean anybody. It might mean people who are sick, people who are struggling with the illness, and people who are on the front lines, like the doctors, the EMTs, the nurses. My sister is almost just about on the front line as her wing is getting converted, and change is happening at the hospital. And I'd like to ask that is a collective prayer for those of us who can, that we might have fear, but let's take a moment and lean back into prayer and support and send light, a bubble of light, to all of those who are in it right now. Like, it's really close to home. It's happening for them. And we send them light, put light around them, and we ground them, give them a grounding cord. And give them showers of grace and prayer and light to their energy body, that may they have strength to keep going. And may this strength, this light, this prayer support their immune systems. And for some, it's going to feel like fighting the fight. And may we be those people here who can give them strength when it's hard for them to know where to pull it from, when they're tired, when their immune systems are compromised. I pray that we give them strength. Pray for their light, their being. Shower them with grace and strength and faith that we believe in you. And thank you. May this light support them in their true test of time. We're all tested right now. And for those of us who can do this, and those of us who have been, working on the path and have been healing and have been finding our way, we've seasoned ourselves for this. We have come to a place in our being where we can hold the torch and the light for those whom may need it the most. And may you see that in yourself. That if you have the power and the light in you and have felt the consuming of fear, the empathic experience of fear and sickness, that usually means that there's an inner light, a vibration, an inner knowing that needs attention. And so as we offer up this prayer to those who need it and send them light, send them a bubble of light, and then come back to yourself in that radiant pillar of grace in your body, that radiant vibratory essence in your being. You are plugged into your root and you are radiating life force, vibrancy, love, and letting that love go into all the channels of your being, in your body, in your immune system. That you were made for these times. You came here as a soul with a particular strength, a particular footprint, and will, and power. We're going to hold space and make space for that power to emerge. And as you emerge, it's not, light, dark, good, bad, right, wrong. It's all that is. Humanity is what it is. Being a human means we have feelings, all different kinds of emotions. We're going to make space in this moment for your vibrancy. What we cultivate is the power of our inner soul's essence. And that vibrancy fuels into the cells of your being and into your human experience. So we're allowing for this to emerge. Yes, thank you, Tamar. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Just allowing this love to emerge. Grace and filling that strength. Good. And as this pillar of strength it expands from the tailbone to the crown of your head, may it infuse into the center of your being and become your spiritual backbone during these times. And the the bizarre dichotomy of the spiritually awakening process during this time is that you can feel okay and you can feel humanity at the same time. I feel the emotions and I feel okay. Both of those two things can exist right now, and it can be confusing, but it's part of that experience of the soul being sending those messages, infusing into consciousness. And so I pray here that as this pillar of light emerge in your body and shine soul strength through the vessel of your being, that may we on a vibratory level continue to feed the collective consciousness, those who are in need, those who may be passing, those who may be left behind, those who are working hard to help our lives run. And I pray here that as we hold this pillar of grace around, this pillar of light, this bubble of light around the outside of our auric field, that may we infuse this light with protection, but also with grace, holding your process, holding your humanity. Nothing's wrong if you melt down. That's good. That's very good for the nervous system. Good. And then I pray here that as we are in this space now and together, grounding, holding light for ourselves and for the planet as a collective, that we slowly start to come here into this moment, open our eyes, come into connection. I'm just going to say a few things here. My eyes might be closed and open. So, there are a lot of, I've been getting some, questions about being empathic and being in the world as an empathic being and going through this. And am I picking up the sickness by being empathic? And, there are other sicknesses going on. I got really sick with a respiratory infection, not sure if it was the onset of COVID, had the test, came out negative. A bunch of other people I know had the same symptoms I had, but it's not the same illness. Or are we picking it up empathically? I mean, here's the deal, is that um, there are other illnesses going on, and and sensitive people, the empath specifically, and by empath we can be empathic and not necessarily identify as an empath. I mean, an empath is someone who really deeply feels what's going on an energetic level. But the truth is, an empath is also a healer. An empath who doesn't know their healer gift yet becomes overly empathic very easily. And so, what's important to recognize here is that an empath, for us as empathic beings, the most soul strengthening thing we can do for our energy boundaries is let ourselves have our emotions, because our emotions emote. They actually detox and push out of our energy field where we have been absorbent and concave. When we collapse around our emotions, I'm angry and I go numb. There's a collapse. I am in grief, but I can't access it or feel it. I freeze, I run away. There's a collapse. We collapse around our emotions, and that's conditioning. We're conditioned, and I'm making big generalizations here because not everybody is, but for the most part, as a society, we are conditioned to collapse around our emotions and shame ourselves and make them wrong. Shame is a collapse in our system. Where we uncollapse, or where we hold ourselves, is by acknowledging, wow, this is hard and I have fear. And I have fear, and that doesn't make me unspiritual to have fear. It makes me a human being in this body. And the most spiritual thing we can do for ourselves is allow our energy body to detox, allow our energy system, like take care of our energy body by letting ourselves have the feelings, or going for a walk when it's too much, or doing something, getting fresh air, when it feels like, oh my goodness, I'm losing my capacity of being in the house with, kids and family and, the whole shebang, the zoo, or maybe even by ourselves. I'm alone in this space. So where we are as empathic beings learning how to find our power and our strength is that the one of the powers of the empath is that we hold space. One of the disempowering shadow sides of being overly empathic is we absorb energy. Holding space and absorbing energy are two different things. Absorbing energy means it's not okay to have anybody's feelings, mine or anyone else's. So when they happen, I collapse and I absorb. That's what happens in our system as empaths. Holding space is, wow, I am I am feeling the central channel of my being. I am radiating from the core of my being with the full awareness of, I feel anger, I feel sadness, I feel worry, I feel fear. I feel joy. I feel, wow, there's awe and awakening happening, even if the fear is happening. I know lots of people right now who feel this way, who feel the dichotomy. There is powerful awakening happening amidst this incredible human tragedy that's happening. How can that be? This is the power of awakening that's happening, and it takes us into a collective consciousness experience. And as empaths, it's our work to hold space and allow and not blame, shame, or wrong anybody, but to hold space for what people are experiencing, for what the world is experiencing, and allow the mystical to occur. The empath channels the mystical experience into the human condition, but an empath who's collapsed is going to be consumed. And so our work is to build that central channel, is to cultivate that through prayer, to hold the mystical, the mystery, the unfolding, the patience. We don't know how this is going to work out. And is it fifth dimension? And is it, are we moving into the Sat Yuga? And is there, collective energies downloading in the planets? Yes, all of that. All of that is happening. Our mind will want to understand and reason. And why is this whole spiritual experience occurring? But ultimately, we have to live through the experience. And as empaths and sensitive people and human beings, those of us who can emerge from the central channel of our being, infuse into our nervous system, into our immune system, and show up and be of support and pray for those on the front lines. That's our work right now. It's our work right now. And to hold the feelings and not hold against them, but love yourself, hold yourself, hug yourself, go for walks, take care of yourself around the feelings, and let yourself emote. I mean, I had like almost every week last week, tears every night. I just had to cry out the day, just had to cry it out. This was hard today. It's hard to be a parent at home, working from home with a child who doesn't see mom work all the time, who feels rejected by mom because mom has to work, to keep the family afloat. It's like, this is my reality, and then there's sips of moments of pause. I live it in my like deepest hugs and my deepest times and the best boundaries I can set for myself. I'm just telling you my own transparent experience. And am I perfect? No, I'm not perfect. And do I need to cry that out sometimes at the end of the day? Yes, I need to cry it out at the end of the day and love to the degree that I can love and give to the degree that I can give and come back to myself and nurture myself to the degree that I can. And if this COVID-19 wasn't happening, I would tell you this is my reality anyway, all day long. This is how we live in the world. And in terms of life balance, humanity is hard right now. It has been for a while. And I'll tell you this story. I'm on a roll. I will tell you this story. And this is going to be, I don't know if it's hard to hear, but it was for me when I heard it. But I came into my gift, I was 19 and I was young, and I knew I was too young. And I said for 10 years after, 10, 11 years, I am too young to have what I have. And I didn't feel mature enough. I didn't feel ready enough. I didn't feel, and this was like between me and God, me and my angels, is I kept getting downloads and these divine beings talking to me and saying, "Are you ready, Wendy? We need you. You're going to step in and do this." And I said no. And I said no over and over again. I said no. And I remember, and I had so many experiences of denying my gift and just kind of doing it because it was fun, but not taking it seriously like I was really called to the degree that I was called. And then there was this one day where I got through my channel, through my guides, saying, "Wendy, gather some people. We have some information for the people." And this was like maybe 17 years ago, maybe 15, 17 years ago. And I remember them saying, so I had like maybe 4 or 5 people, friends of mine in this room. I was living in El Cerrito, California at the time, and we were in my living room. And I remember what had facilitated through, and we tape recorded it on a cassette tape, and God knows where that thing is. I have no idea where it was, but it was that long ago that I was using cassette tapes. Um, and the channel came, and the guides were saying and lots of things about the destruction that was coming and how hard it was going to be. We're going to be taking a turn into a very dark time. And I was scared facilitating this information to this group. And what I remember very clearly what the guides had said at that time, they said it's so important that you do your inner work, because those of you who are doing your inner work are going to thrive in a way that you can help others and hold strength for others and be of service to others. And those who can't who are not doing or can't do the inner work or aren't doing the inner work are going to have particular sufferings. And these particular sufferings can be in the form of physical illness, they'll be in the form um, emotional, emotional struggle, addiction, and death. And I remember them saying this 50, that all these years ago. I felt like it was way long ago, but 15, 17 years ago, sitting there in my 20-something-year-old self, hearing this information, saying to myself, what do I do with this? And back then, there's been a lot of awakening since then, but we didn't have social media back then when this was all happening. And I'm going through this process of just, gung ho on healing work and encouraging this message is that and the message isn't only my message. I mean, many of you have been on this path, have heard this message in your downloads and in your experience. But we've been invited to do this deeper work, to continue to heal our wounds and our inner vessel, because what it is doing is our individual awakenings are awakening the planet. We are offering prayer. We are taking our work out there into the world and helping others and sharing and growing and expanding. And I'm just coming back to this message of how crucial and important it is that we are coming into our earth element, coming into grounding, nurturing, healing our wounds, really looking at where our triggers are, asking ourselves, what is that about? What's getting triggered in me? And how are we coming back to our own personal healing so that we may continue to show up on this planet? That's every single one of us. We're all in it together in this way. And everyone's version is going to look different. Whether you're feeding the poor or feeding your community, or whether you're sewing masks, or whether you're offering healing work, or whether you're singing songs, or putting out joy, whatever it may be. We all have our part in it. And yeah, I'm with you. I feel it all with you, the humanity and the spiritual expansion. And I'm just coming back to that message of we have our inner work to do, and we will thrive. We will shine through it, and we will find our way back to our union and our channel with grace and the divine. And yeah, I hope this meditation supports you in the beginning. If it does, come back to this. If you missed it, go back and listen to it. This experience of plugging in your central channel and radiating. Last week's meditation is up on my Facebook page, as well as the longer grounded meditation. Carve out those 45 minutes to listen to that, and carve it out. Find that time to deep dive and listen to that deeper healing. It really can help your energy being, your body. Okay, lots of love. That's a lot. Um, and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep supporting and shining and radiating where you can, and feeling what's real. It's all there. Sending you love, big virtual hug, many blessings, and I will be here live next Wednesday. Many blessings.